All right, and welcome into this week's episode of Play by Play. I am your host, Andy Horton, alongside my co-host, Jared Bergstrom. And, well, Jared, another week of football, so there's a lot of football recap. And then we're both wearing Reds gear. I think that might just be a coincidence. It might not be. But there is some baseball news to talk about. We got to talk about some Shohei Ohtani stuff. And then, well, I kind of buried the lead right there, didn't I? We got to talk about the fact that the Reds finally did what?
We'll talk about Shohei first. I want to get as much enjoyment out of this as possible.
But the Reds finally
David
did
Bell.
what?
Fired him.
There you go. Fired David Bell. So we will get to that here shortly. But I guess we're stepping right into Shohei. Mm-hmm. Shohei goes 50-50. We haven't talked baseball in a few weeks, I feel like.
They haven't had to.
But so here we go.
On this 1-1 pitch, Ohtani lifts a fly ball to deep right field. How far will it go? Into the second deck. It's his 48th home run in his hunt for 50-50.
Beware of hitters taking fastballs when their fastball.
He hit that like it was a home run derby pitch.
Man.
He took a fastball
And then
Get in the sprint.
Just absolutely crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole game, I mean, his total stat line ended up being...
Oh, it was insane.
He was 6 for 6. He had 10 RBIs. Was it 3 home runs?
3 home runs and
Yeah, I mean...
2 stolen bases.
Right. And I said this just before we started the show. That's all. This is all. He's been doing this all season with a bum elbow. Because
Yeah.
That's why, everyone knows he had Tommy John surgery. So that's why he hasn't been pitching. Like, does he hit? He hit 60, right? If it's not for the surgery, does he hit 65? I mean, I don't know. Like how much that affects hitting. Obviously not too incredibly much, but
He said 53 home runs
with what, about 5 games
and
left?
55 stolen bases. Let me just... How many games do they got left?
I think they got 5.
They do. They have 5 left. 2 against San Diego.
And there's another one
And
of the
3
home
against
runs.
Rockies.
So at least 2 of them were second deck. That was out of there.
If he gets 2 home runs in one of the next 2 games with San Diego, I feel like he could get the 60 home runs going up against the Rockies. That'd give him 5 home runs in 3 days. I think he could do it.
He could, but man, I don't know. And there's the third one.
That
Almost goes into the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, he was 4 for 4, and that was number 50.
And then the stolen bases, he is at 55. So I think he'll get the stolen bases, but it'll be interesting to see if he can get the home runs. That would be insane.
Sheesh. Just demolishing them.
Yeah, and it was I think it was 20-3 was the final in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So wait, did he have 3 or was it 4?
he had 3. Let me go back and look to make sure, but I think it was 3. That was against the Marlins.
Or did they just show the 50th twice?
They
or
might have
something?
shown the 50th twice. Let's see if I remember what day that was on. Oh, I can.
Oh, maybe this is more than just that. I don't know. But
Oh yeah, there's Colorado in there too.
yeah. But regardless, Shohei has been absolutely ridiculous this season.
And then, since we haven't talked about the playoffs in a while, we can go ahead and pull up the current playoff picture. If the postseason started today, this is the 12 teams that would be in it. Out west, or in the American League, sorry, you've got the Yankees as the 1 seed, Cleveland as the 2, Houston 3, Baltimore 4, Kansas City 5, and Detroit 6. And then on the National League side, you got the Dodgers at 1, Phillies at 2, Brewers at 3, Padres 4, 5 goes to the Mets, and 6 goes to the D-backs. If it started this way today, I would probably go with a World Series between the Phillies and I will say the Indians or the Orioles. Or Guardians or Orioles, sorry. I don't want to get canceled.
So I think I kind of want to go like series by series
Oh, okay, we can do
through
that.
this. Yeah. So I guess maybe let's start at the sixes.
All right.
You know, I like how Detroit, they really turned it on at the end of the season to be able to get in. I'm not quite sure how many, like, what their record was down the stretch, but they really, I mean, they were pretty hopeless in the middle of the season, sitting right there at 500. And then sometime after the All-Star break, they turned it on. That being said, I don't know if they got what it takes to beat the Astros, who almost did something similar. I mean, they turned it on in like June before the All-Star break, but you know, that's just what they do, and they have so much experience. When they get to the postseason, you just almost feel like they're always going to come up and, you know, play well. So I feel like they would probably win that series in my mind. And then I'll go to KC and the Orioles. I want to pick the Orioles because Bobby Witt is a lot of fun, and they got a lot of really good, fun players on that team. But that being said, I feel like this might be one of those years for the Orioles. I think they got a great shot to win the whole thing with, you know, Gunnar Henderson and all those different guys that they got there that can hit home runs. And then, you know, they also have an elite pitching staff. They lost a few of the guys during the season to injury, but they've still been really good down the stretch. So I'd probably have them winning that series. And then you go back up top. Cleveland, they've been so good all year long, so it's hard to pick against them. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll pick them for that series maybe, but I don't have the confidence in them to like go to the World Series. I don't think that's happening. Mm-hmm. Then down below with the Yankees and the Orioles, I think I'm taking the Orioles. The Yankees
let me look and see
really
like what their records were.
the
against
Yankees
each other.
really struggled at times throughout the season, and you know, the Orioles, sure, of course they did, but I feel like they didn't struggle quite as bad. Like they maybe didn't have the highs that the Yankees did, but they also, I don't feel like they had the lows.
Baltimore over Yankees this year in head-to-head matchups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's even with the Yankees. I mean, they were throwing at them all season long. Mm-hmm. Like, not necessarily saying that the Yankees were trying to hurt them, but they hit them a lot.
Yeah,
they hit them a lot. So yeah, I would take the O's in that series, and then with Cleveland and the O's, I would go with the O's. Mm-hmm. And then over on the other side, I don't believe in the Brewers.
No, I'm taking
everyone.
D-backs.
I think that's one thing that people should know about me when it comes to baseball. I do not believe in the Brewers. So I would take the D-backs. I don't believe in the Mets either. I mean, hey, they paid a lot of money for that roster, and it actually was able to play pretty well this year. But I still don't think that they have enough to be able to beat a team like San Diego. The Padres are loaded. Mm-hmm. Then you go back up top to the Phillies and the D-backs. I think
it'll be close. I mean,
I really like this Phillies team, dude. Like,
that was a National League Championship Series last year.
I mean, they got Wheeler, Ranger Suarez,
Nick Castellanos.
Well, no, I was just talking about pitchers.
Okay. I thought you were just naming. I mean,
yeah, no,
you were just naming people
blanking,
off.
No, I'm blanking on.
Nola is there too, isn't he still?
Hang on, I'm gonna.
All right.
Just have to pull it up. Yep, Aaron Nola. Mm-hmm.
I mean, right there, that's 3 games it takes to win a best of 5 series.
Tawan Walker, he's also a guy who's been killing it this year. And so I love their pitching staff. It's outstanding. And then, you get to the position players.
To the bats.
And JT Realmuto is a fantastic catcher both sides of the plate. Alec Boehm out there who just, he just acquires hits and bombs and hits. Then there's Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, one of the fastest men in all of baseball. Then you can finally get to Nick Castellanos, who really has not been very good this year. But I still like Nick. Brandon Marsh, who I love looking at that guy. Right? He looks like
a hillbilly coming out the Everglades.
He looks so goofy, but I love listening to him, love watching him play. Kyle Schwarber, that man bangs. I mean, Joey Votto bangs, but Kyle Schwarber bangs.
The Middletown native.
That guy. Whew. So I'm not. It's really hard for me to pick against the Phillies.
And then
San Diego.
I'm taking the Padres over the Dodgers.
Yeah, that one is. I want to agree with you. I want to say that. The Dodgers are really, really good though, and then they got past all of their injury issues, which they were dealing with, or not all of them, but a lot of them. But yeah, I think I am picking Tatis and Profar and Luis Ariz, and I mean that's just 3 of the guys, and one guy literally gets a hit every time he's on base. The other 2 guys they're incredibly fast and they hit crazy home runs, and they're great defenders, and I mean.
And they got decent pitching. We didn't talk about their pitching, but they got decent pitching for San Diego.
Hang on, let me go look at it, because as soon as I pull it up, I'll be like, oh yeah, but
the Mets are paying.
Oh yeah, Dylan Cease, Hugh Darvish, who ain't Hugh Darvish like he used to be, but he's still good. Martin Perez, not great, but still good. Joe Musgrave, that's a nice arm. Michael King, that's a good pitcher. Like you said, they got some pretty good pitching.
Yeah, not like Phillies pitching where you can name 4 or 5 and they're all.
And then Jake Cronenworth, Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention Manny. I totally forgot about him. How do you do that? I don't even know. But yeah, they got some dudes. So I think they got a good shot.
So we kind of got the same championship series.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Baltimore, and Philly, and San Diego.
I don't.
Or did you not pick yet San Diego?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I would take the Padres. It'd be close, but I think it's almost a heart pick. I would prefer to see the Padres do it, but
I know, not the biggest Dodgers fans.
Right. No, not at all. And then, so I'd have the O's going to the World Series. I think I already said that. And then on the other side, that one gets tough, right? Because the Phillies, they're so good. But then I just named off an incredible roster for
San Diego. Yeah.
San Diego. So it's like they're also very, very good. And it just feels like maybe Philly might have. Now, I might be completely wrong on this, but like I said, Nick Castellanos hasn't been the greatest this season, and all
it takes is one time
all
to get hot.
Kyle Schwarber does is hit home runs, and it's like if he doesn't get hot, that's a lot of zeros, and that's a lot of nothing on base, and not a lot of strikeouts. So I might have to pick San Diego. But I feel like that's the wrong pick because I like this Phillies team.
I would say Philly if that's how it, and if that has how.
It's tough.
Like, and that's if the postseason started today.
Now watch. We'll get there, and I'll flip the pick. I'll pick the Phillies because Schwarber will have 13 home runs in the playoffs. But
hey, if that's what it takes for the Phillies to get there, and I mean, they're probably my favorite team out of the National League outside of the Reds. So I'll root for them until but like I said, I want Baltimore to win. I want to see that young nucleus that they have together. I want to see them win. Not just this one, but I want to see them win a couple.
I want whoever comes out of the National League to win. Like that's what I want. So.
All right, so that will do it for that part of baseball. Yeah, when I got the news that when I got the notification come across my phone, I about because it was late at night too. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And I really thought that I didn't believe it at first because it's like there's no way because they just signed him to that extension after last year, and I was like, oh, they're not going to do it. And then,
lo and behold.
Yeah, they finally made the right move.
Yeah, I was a little shocked too, but I was rooting for us to lose almost every game the rest of the season.
We almost did
to get him out, and well, it didn't take losing that many, but when at one point a month ago you were 2 games, 1 game out, or excuse me, 1 game under 500, and now you're 12. That's just not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's not good enough in any way, shape, or form. And so, it just things started to fall apart, and isn't one of the things that the GM said was that one of the issues was, we stole a lot of bases, but we also got thrown out a lot. And I don't necessarily, or did I hear that right? Or am I
It's
wrong?
something along those lines,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'm not necessarily against the aggressiveness of the Reds, but at the same time, you have to be smart about it. And maybe he was just too reckless, and the hitting, it never improved this year, and it's it just at some point, because so the hitting did improve, I guess, a little bit, but it's
it had spurts,
but not to the point where it was an actual MLB offense, which it's just so crazy because last year they were hitting everything, and this year
they were not.
Yeah. I guess that's part of the game. But so, the Reds looking to. I said they were way under 500. I'm wrong. They're actually only 6. 6 games under at 76 and 82. So
I got to win out to get to 500 for the year.
Yeah, kind of doubt that one. But I don't want for the Reds to have a bad season, but I'll kind of take it if it gets David Bell out.
Gone. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know who. I guess that's the next question. Who may be the next guy? Well, hopefully, he's the guy that can motivate. Get these guys prepared.
I feel like you've got to go more. You got to go with somebody with experience. I mean, you don't go out and promote a bullpen coach or promote a hitting coach to being the general manager or the manager for the clubhouse. I don't think those will work. You're going to have to go out and you're going to have to get somebody with experience. And one name that I threw out to you when you texted me was you can go get the Blue Jays bench coach and Don Mattingly. He was the manager for the Marlins and the Dodgers for a while. I know it's weird talking about potentially saying Aaron Boone, but I mean, he hasn't done anything with the Yankees that he's been there. So I kind of feel like if they're a World Series or bust with him, if they let him go, I mean, you could take him. I mean, he's made the playoffs, I think, 4 out of the 7 years he's been there, but he hasn't won. And the Yankees are one of those, if you don't win, we're going to let you go no matter how good your season goes. Depending on health, you could go after Terry Francona. That's the only reason he stepped away last year, or maybe 2 years ago now, with Cleveland, with his health issues. But I remember reading an article by Buster Olney about the All-Star break of this year that he feels Francona will be back managing in the leagues this next year. Go after him.
Hey, That'd be a fantastic move. That guy definitely knows how to develop talent. And, I mean, it just feels like just about anybody that Cleveland touches and doesn't throw away is, either a solid player or they're good with baseball because, they don't win a lot of World Series up there, but they win a lot of games.
Yeah. And at this point, the Reds will just take winning games and getting to the postseason.
Yeah, I will.
But other than that, I think that does it for about baseball.
Yeah.
And probably baseball until we get to the actual postseason.
Yeah.
And start talking about it. So we want to go to college football from last week?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So the first game that popped up when I clicked on ESPN was it was Illinois and Nebraska. And I tell you what, that one was a shocker to me. Not that, I thought that Illinois was terrible. I did coming into the season, but rolling into the game 3-0. Let's see. Who were their opponents? Oh, yeah. Eastern Illinois, so that's not good.
No.
But
They
then,
did beat Kansas.
But then I was about to say, the week 2 they beat Kansas and then Central Michigan. So, Central Michigan, not a great football team, but not a terrible program either. At least, I don't think so. Maybe I could be way wrong on that, but I don't suppose so. But so anyways, the Illini came in, definitely, I think, the underdogs. I don't know what the line was.
Hold on, I have it written down.
Oh, you do? Yes, there you go. Great job.
Nebraska was -7.5.
Yeah, so it wasn't too big, but Illinois ended up flipping that on them and ended up winning by 7, 31-24. And both quarterbacks played very well. Luke Altmaier for Illinois, 21 of 27 for 215 and 4 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Added in an extra 21 yards on the ground. And then Dylan Royola, 24 for 35, 297 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, so that didn't help things. Looks like he got sacked a handful of times. It says 7 carries for -52 yards.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. And then I guess you can kind of look, that is a big one of the big breaking points in the game. The fact that Nebraska was not able to move the ball on the ground and Illinois was
5 sacks.
5 sacks. Yeah, so Nebraska was sacked 5 times and had 50 rushing yards, whereas Illinois, how many sacks did Nebraska have?
2.
2 sacks, and they
2
ran
sacks and 2 tackles
they
for
ran the
loss.
ball 38 times for 168 yards. So it's 4.5 yards a carry. That's very efficient. They played really well. Pat Bryant had a fantastic game for him. Not a ton of yards, but 5 catches for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's see what he's done on the season. 20 catches for 306 and 6 touchdowns. So he's kind of seems to be one of their big red zone targets. He's having a really good season. 6 touchdowns through 4 games. Not on the Ashton Genty level, but still pretty good so far.
Is anybody close to him yet?
I don't know. I was reading some people online saying that there was some kid from Iowa that was better, and I was like,
From Iowa?
I don't know about that. I was like, I don't know about
Let me
that.
look
We'll
at
see.
that.
But so yeah, I was definitely shocked that Nebraska lost. But when you kind of look at their schedule, they haven't played really any very good teams so far. They've been beating up on everybody. UTEP 40-7, 28-10, Colorado 34-3, Northern Illinois. So they get their first big test of the season. And I guess Matt Rule's squad just, I'm not saying they're not a good team because I still think they are like a very good team. But maybe they're just not quite set for all those primetime games quite yet this season.
We'll
see.
Caleb Johnson from Iowa is 101 yards up on Genty. I didn't realize. We don't talk about Iowa because when they're ranked, they don't play anything impressive to talk about. But I guess they're running the ball really well. He's got 82 rushes for 685 yards. So that's
Sheesh.
math was not my forte. So It's 8.3 yards a rush, where
Genty is over 10.
10.4.
Yeah.
Doing it on 30 less carries, but we'll see how it goes the rest of the year. Boise State got into the coaches poll this week. They're at 25.
Yes, I saw that and I was very excited. There's no point to even talk about our game though.
Who they got?
We played Portland State and we beat the dog snot out of them.
I thought you were talking about for this week. Play Washington State.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely talk about that one. That one should be a fun one up on the blue. Texas beat the tar out of UL Monroe.
You know what their mascot is? Are you looking at it?
Yeah, but it's small. I can't. It looks like a bird.
It's a warhawk.
A warhawk.
They're the UL Monroe Warhawks.
Kind of like the War Eagles.
Yeah. But yeah, Manning didn't do bad. Two picks. I guess I really didn't look at his stats. 258 yards, 2 touchdowns on 71% completion. Only 1 carry for -4 yards. Let's see if that was a sack or is that was a sack.
Dude, Texas has just been pumping out their running backs here as of late.
Yeah.
And they're down Baxter, who was supposed to be the guy coming into this year. Jaden Blue said, hey, you're not down nobody. 25 carries for 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's having a great season too. There's running backs across the country. Well, actually, maybe not. They haven't really. He actually not having that great of a year.
I think that was his biggest game of the year, wasn't it?
I was gonna say most of his carries or most of his stuff just came in that last game.
Yeah,
he didn't get a ton of carries in either of the other 2 games though.
Yeah.
It was 11 and 9.
20 for 79 yards. Yeah, those aren't good numbers. But
that's about 4 yards a carry, just under. So that's not great. That's not terrible either. But yeah, he was splitting carries early, so maybe now he starts getting more carries and he'll take a bigger. He'll start playing better or whatever. And Isaiah Bond, the transfer from
Bama,
yep, played pretty well. 2 catches for 75 yards, but I don't know how much really any of the starters played in this game.
It doesn't look like a lot because you had a lot of other 1s and 2s catches.
Well, and
they didn't really throw
up
that
28-3 at halftime.
Yeah, you don't have to. No sense in risking injuring.
I guess Arch did play the whole game, but they were just, I'm assuming, trying to get him snaps and looks, get him more experience.
Not necessarily that he'll need it this week for Mississippi State, but you got Oklahoma and Georgia back-to-back weeks after that.
It's definitely a step up in competition, though, from UL Monroe.
Yeah.
So, Ohio State, Marshall, when are the Buckeyes ever going to play somebody good? I'm so sick of this. I mean, the first 3 games of the season, it's Panera Bread State, freaking what?
At least we put ours at the beginning. You don't go down to
blah.
Look
like, come
I mean,
on.
You don't play
You guys
Mercer.
have a 3-week preseason every single year. I would prefer it just be sprinkled in somewhere. Freaking, because then, like, the Buckeyes are like, oh, yeah, we're 6-0 at some point in the season. Because you played a bunch of high schoolers. Of course you're 6-0. The first 3 weeks were all fluff. I mean, at least play some Mountain West schools or something. I mean, or some PAC schools. Like, man. So anyways, don't even have to talk about that. 49-14. I'm surprised that y'all let up 14 points, though. That's go Marshall, I guess, even though they're 1-2. They maybe a little better than that record. Ole Miss, Georgia Southern, they beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, nothing to say there. Dart, again, another great game, 22-31, 382 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that guy's a dog. And then I got their wide receiver, Harris. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Trey Harris, 11 catches for 225 and 2 tutties. I mean, have yourself a day. He's got 38 catches for 628.
So he's
averaging 16 and a half yards a catch.
I was about to say almost 175 yards a game.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he's racking them up. That's incredible. He's going to be a guy to watch come draft time and in the NFL.
What grade is he?
Oh, I didn't.
I just clicked.
see that.
Oh, he's a senior, so yeah. Tennessee kind of wins a boring game
Wait,
against.
Chris Paul Jr.? That's not Chris Paul's, right?
I don't know where you at.
He's one of their defenders. Chris Paul Jr. cannot be related to Chris Paul. He's short. He's 6'1". He's one of their defenders. He had 1.5 sacks in the game.
I'm not seeing anything. Is it transfer from Arkansas?
Oh, no, yeah, nope,
Okay.
not related. I was like, yeah, no, Chris Paul's. I was like, is Chris Paul old enough to have a kid in college? I was like, I know he's been in the league for a long time, but good Lord.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tennessee doesn't wins a game against Oklahoma,
Yeah, you said you weren't too excited about that one.
No,
it was
I
definitely
watched
low
it.
scoring.
and nothing impressed me. I think not at one point, but there was 3 different times, and it didn't matter which way it went. Tennessee turned the ball over. Next play, Oklahoma turned it over, back to back. And then it happened later on in that game. Is Oklahoma turned the ball over, Tennessee fumbled it right back. So yeah, it was an ugly game, and Tennessee, I guess, welcomes Oklahoma to the SEC with their first loss.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened to Missouri, Vanderbilt taking them to
Dude,
overtime.
what is going on with Vanderbilt?
I don't know. I guess they heard us cracking jokes about their crappy stadium.
In the words of one of my favorite creators, I think his name is Jake. He's the guy who does the back and forth between the fan bases on Facebook. Frickin' the Commodores have been, they've been killing it this year, dude. Wow. How did they lose to Georgia State? That's incredible. They beat Virginia Tech week 1 by 7, and then they put 55 on Alcorn State, and then the last 2 they've put up some ducks. Really kind of not been good.
They got a bye week this week. They need all they can prepare for Alabama. Ooh, they got to play Texas, LSU, and Tennessee also the rest of the year. Hey, they could make some noise, or at least give people some games. If they can do that,
hanging around.
Yeah.
I mean, quarterback had 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. They ran for 150. Like, it wasn't like the most efficient thing in the world, but
hey, you had a shot to win at the game in overtime.
Nate Knoll for
Mizzou,
24 rushes for $199.
I was about to say almost 200 yards.
Sheesh. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry on the season, has 400 yards, so that game was most of it.
Yep. Nothing really. Miami and South Florida. Meh. Clicked off the wrong one.
Michigan, after having a disappointing...
Oh, I was going to say that Kent State has been shut out the last 2 weeks, 127-0.
Oh, yeah?
71-0 to Tennessee and 56-0 to Penn State. So
wow.
Not a great time.
Yeah, I just kind of skipped over that one.
Yeah.
So I was just going to go
But that was the only thing.
I was going to go to Michigan and USC rather. And man, I tell you what, how bad do you have to feel if you're USC at the fact that Michigan only scored 28 points against Arkansas State the week before, and then you let them score 27? This is an offense that does not throw the ball. This is almost like Fairmont. I mean, they throw it more often, but I think Fairmont gets more yards through the air. 7 completions on 12 attempts for 32 yards for Alex Orji. I don't know what the...
I watched this game and I didn't realize it was that bad.
I don't know what the hell they're gonna... Dude, I might be really sad
It's going to be...
come November. when
It's going to be a bad. I mean, I'm not saying
when
Minnesota
they play the Buckeyes.
is going to. I don't know about Minnesota, but I mean, you've got Illinois, Michigan State, Oregon coming up for Michigan.
And I just gotta think that like most of it is just bad tackling because USC's defense they just can't tackle. I don't know why. Like, is defense too hard to play out there in the sunshine? Can you not focus? Is it too beautiful?
Lincoln Riley doesn't emphasize. Oh, you don't have to tackle him; just try to push him down. Because I mean, he had that problem at Oklahoma. I about said Oregon, Oklahoma too. I mean, his defense was just giving up big plays because they couldn't tackle. And the only reason Michigan won is because of Mullings. What is his first name? Khalil Mullings. And he had him, I think that's his best game he's had of the year. Now, by 6 yards. He had 153 against Arkansas State and 2 touchdowns last week. And then this week, 159 yards and 2 touchdowns against USC. And Michigan, it wasn't their, I'm not going to say it wasn't, but their defense really put them in the position to win that game because they had that pick 6 in the third quarter. And then the defense made USC go 3 and out 2 times in the fourth quarter. That got them the ball back without giving up points. In the second half, Michigan, until their final drive, only had 8 yards of total offense in the second half. And then they
only had what?
8 yards of total offense in the second half until their last drive.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So disappointed with Lincoln Riley and USC all the time. I wish I could root for USC because actually I was a big Reggie Bush guy. Like, right? I loved Reggie Bush when I was a kid, but this is not. They're just all flash and no substance. It feels like at times.
I felt like they needed to do something because I thought.
But just look at that.
Miller
rushing.
Moss. I thought he was going to be dead by halftime with how many hits Michigan had gotten to him and sacks.
And that's even with sending 7,000 defenders to the league over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, they got dudes up there, man. Like, the offense might not be what it's been in years past, but they can still play some defense.
And then they were talking about the announcers. We're talking about, they might have to bring in Warren Davis because he's the only one that can pass the ball on that last drive. And I think they only threw the ball once on that last drive, and that was on like 3rd and 8 to Loveland.
Not bringing that dumpster fire in. That's just not smart.
Utah and Oklahoma State ended up being, the score made it look better, but it felt like Utah was up.
OK State made a big push at the end.
Mm-hmm. Too little, too late. BYU kind of just went.
So what happened to Cam Rising? I totally missed that. I know that he didn't play or whatever. I know he got hurt.
Oh, then I guess, yeah. I don't know what happened. Yeah,
he's out again.
We're never going to see him play. He's just not going to play.
He
better not go to the league.
Is he going to get another year?
I think 7 is it. I don't think you can get another year. I think he's used up every possible excuse.
Like I hope he's not out for the season. I saw he got hurt, but I didn't see what it was.
If he's out for the year, then that could take Utah's chances down a little bit.
Oh no, definitely would.
While you look that up, BYU kind of said they won their first Big 12 game of the season, 38-9 win over Kansas State. That kind of takes all the wind out of Kansas State's sails for me. They dropped from 13 to 24th. Yeah, so they dropped quite a bit after that loss. I just look and see.
You said USC did?
No, Kansas State.
Oh.
USC fell from.
Yeah, that was a rough loss, and I like how Kansas State has played this season. But Avery Johnson.
They got to Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson didn't have it going that day.
Well, no, only 3 sacks. So it's not like they didn't get to him.
But they were able to rattle him a little bit.
Yeah.
Threw a couple of picks and
2 pass deflections. So yeah.
Really things didn't go well. BYU, they've been impressive.
Mm-hmm. And they are. Did they get ranked this week? I felt like they did because I remember writing them down. I thought. Maybe not. Anything else I gotta say? Miami of Ohio kind of stayed with it until the end of the third quarter. I mean, it was 14-3 at halftime over with Notre Dame, and they didn't do anything.
Riley Leonard just does everything for that team.
Yeah.
He threw for
154 rushing and 143 rushing and passing. Three total touchdowns.
Yeah, 3 combined.
I want to see if
Heck
he
of a
can
day
throw
in
it to
fantasy.
himself. If he can throw it to himself, it might be a.
He had a heck of a day in fantasy, man. I mean, that's 26 points from rushing yards, and another 12 from another 10 from the from the passing. That's 36 points from quarterback.
Bowling Green.
I was very disappointed. Real quick, I've been disappointed the last couple weeks in Georgia Tech. I didn't think that they were going to be like a great team, but they got off to a really hot start, and I thought that they might be able to, make some noise in the ACC, and then they've lost a couple in a row now, and like their quarterback's still looking good, 312, and rushed for another 60 and a touchdown, but
So he does it all for him too.
he does a lot, that's for sure.
Buffalo upsets Northern Illinois. That knocks them out of the rankings. And then Bowling Green almost beat Texas A&M. Lost 26-20.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Go Bowling Green. You had a chance. Quarterback threw, he wasn't the most accurate, but he had a 250 and a touchdown, but I guess just not quite enough. Oh my goodness. Hey, they had one of their wide receivers had a great day. His name is Harold Fannin Jr. The page jumped on me. 8 for $145 and a touchdown. So he was a busy man that day. They only had 20 completions. He had 8 of them. So.
Did you see, this is a ranked team or anything, but it's a score that jumped out to me, that James Madison beat North Carolina 70-50.
You say, what?
James Madison beat North Carolina 70-50.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, a lot of people lost money on North Carolina because they were minus 425.
Is that a football score? Or is that basketball?
That's a low-scoring North Carolina basketball game if it is. But
that's incredible.
Yeah. Let's see. Do they have?
I think that's just about it for last week.
Yes, it is. Oh, they have updated the playoff predictor.
Oh, hey, there we go.
So we can talk about that. Anywhere you want to jump? Because we're kind of talk about it, let's go to Alabama because they play Georgia this week. I'm taking Alabama.
What has happened, Jared?
Georgia, in their last 50 games, is 48-2.
And it's Bama.
And those 2 losses are Bama.
Yeah, I was gonna pick them anyways because everyone knows I'm a DeBoer guy, and it's just, dude, it's hard to pick against them.
It is.
Rocky Top.
I'll talk Rocky Top there.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
And then I'll take Alabama there. Will Alabama win its conference
I want to go to a game in Rocky Top one time. And maybe it can be a Tennessee-Alabama game. Or maybe it can be a UT game.
I was about to say, let's go to
the battle of the UTs.
The battle of the bad
to decide
orange.
who is the actual UT.
We'll say Alabama does win its conference championship.
That's 100%.
99 over 99. And then they got...
That's a heck of a resume.
Yeah. But they got Texas beating them in the second round. What is it? Look at this. They got Army down here.
What? Holy
They got
cow.
UCF over. See,
Army's
this is why
going crazy.
They got UCF over here, and I think they've got 3 losses
Wouldn't
already.
that be insane? All right, let's just go do Boise State.
All right.
I think we're going to win.
Right
win
now,
out,
27% chance to make it. They will win this one. They will win that one.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about the UNLV quarterback situation, too. Definitely beating San Jose.
Yeah.
Gonna stomp
99, 73% first round bye, 14%
73% chance at a first round bye? What?
Yeah, there you get it.
I wish that was true, but I don't believe that.
No, I did.
I wish they would respect us
If you would have
that
beat
much.
Oregon, maybe.
I wish they'd respect us that much. But
So they got you losing to Tennessee in the second round, and there they got Georgia winning that one. Any other team?
go and I was
You
going to say
wanna look?
redo it. And let's do the UTs.
All right, we'll go Texas first. They got that as a 72% chance for Texas. God. Yeah.
They've been so
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah. They got that. That's going to be all 99,
Texas
99.
might win it all, dude. So I don't know how the
They that's the first time they picked Texas as the winner. Or the one they've picked the winner as what we've selected as.
yeah, they're redonkulous, man. They're
Let's
crazy.
go, and then you said you want to do the other the Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't think Georgia's going to lose 2 games.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
Ooh,
And then no, because we have Texas.
yeah. Make the playoffs. They got a good shot.
And they got a good shot to host one.
Whoa! They got Tennessee going on.
They got Tennessee dancing
What is
their
this
way.
UFC stuff? I mean, hold on. Let me just go and look at
UCF.
or UCF. Let's just.
36% above Boise? What? I think they'd probably beat Florida. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm picking Iowa State.
I would assume that puts them in the. Dang it. Lose in the first round. Oh, you got Boise State upsetting them.
Yes.
Hold on, let's
go.
Oh, there you go.
Let's go. That has us in the title?
No, that has you
Oh, the
losing
Final Four?
to Bama in the Final Four.
Hey, I will take that. You know
That's
the
Bama,
bump.
Tennessee.
You know the bump that'll give us. You know what that would do for the pack when we're talking about TV numbers. That would be incredible. Oh man, I would die and go to heaven from a heart attack out of excitement if that happened. Freaking even if we lost to Bama. I tell you what, Kalen DeBoer.
Kind of wish it would be.
I tell you what, Kalen DeBoer.
If he gives you.
Don't play with the
Ohio
Broncos.
State.
Don't play with the Broncos.
Oh my God, is Michigan that bad that they don't even feel like Michigan's going to give them a game this year? This is their.
Make it bigger.
This is their winner of the team's toughest matchups. They don't have Michigan on there. Ooh. Indiana's undefeated, but they haven't really played anybody yet.
Oh, that's disrespectful. Get out of here, ESPN.
I was about to say, this is ESPN.
They just beat USC. That's insane.
I'm not
Are they-
worried about Oregon.
They think USC's garbage? Oh, I think you should be worried about Oregon. I'm not saying that they'll win. I think you should be worried about it.
Yeah, we'll win. Ooh, an Ohio State-Miami rematch from Jim Tressel's championship is what they have it as.
Hey,
That's a fun.
As Boise State and Tennessee playing, I'd be fine with that. It'd be fun.
Who's that got you, Boise State?
Over there, 12.
Oh. Come on, you guys got to beat Tennessee.
Tennessee's good, man.
They are. But I think that's going
I'm
to
not saying that we couldn't, but yeah.
finish for college football. For recapping and playing around.
On to...
I guess picking for this week?
Oh, yeah, duh.
Oh, yeah.
I almost said on to the NFL.
We talk about college football more than anything.
How does that even happen?
I don't know.
I don't watch that
and
many
you don't watch
games.
that much, and I kind of watch just the big games,
just-
but have stuff to talk about.
I'm too busy
I
to watch to watch all the games, but
all right, we'll run through it real quick. Virginia Tech at number 7, Miami. I'm taking the Hurricanes.
yeah, they've been really good this year. And as long as Mario Cristobal doesn't, right? He's still there.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't,
do anything stupid.
Get in a precarious
his own way.
situation with 40 seconds left. I think they'll win that game.
Kentucky at number 6, Ole Miss.
Favored to win by 19.5.
Ole Miss. Yeah. Ole Miss favored by 17.5 over Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky's given a couple different teams a good fight, but Jackson Dirt's been fantastic this year.
Yeah.
15, 54, and 12 touchdowns. And then Trey Harris, like I said, you know, when we were talking about them, 38 catches for 628 and 4 touchdowns.
Minnesota at number 12, Michigan. Michigan favored by 9.5. I'm taking Michigan.
Yeah, I'm taking Michigan, and I would take the points too, I think. Be double digits.
I'm not worried about PJ Fleck, and he ain't rowing that boat anywhere. Number 20, Oklahoma State, and number 23, Kansas State. K-State favored by 4.5. I'm gonna ride with Van Gundy. I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
I think I would take K-State. They need to bounce back after last week, and I do like Avery Johnson. I could be wrong, but I think they're a pretty good team.
Number 22, BYU at Baylor.
Wow, they were unranked and they got all the way up there. Wow.
And Baylor is getting 3.5 at home over BYU.
Wow.
I don't know if I
Wait, so real quick, speaking of Baylor, I have to clown Colorado real quick because they played them last week.
All right.
They rushed the field for beating Baylor. Baylor is 2-2.
They rushed the field too early, too.
Yes, before the game was over. You're a bunch of idiots. Freaking. Oh, man.
I'm going to take Baylor. I'm going to take Baylor for an upset.
I wanted to like Deion so bad. I wanted to like him
hard.
so bad, but he makes it hard, and his fans make it hard. I was like, what? Y'all are rushing the field for beating Baylor, who had 2 wins.
Yeah.
Baylor that has not been good since RG3. Freaking, that's incredible. So yeah, I'm picking BYU.
BYU.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cougs.
Wisconsin at number 13, USC. USC favored by 15.5. I kind of feel they'll bounce back after this one. Wisconsin has not shown me anything this year.
Yeah, not enough. I think that unless those big boys are just gonna
come out and
do
Wisconsin
the Wisconsin thing. Yeah, exactly. Which, hey, they could. They always got the size to be able to push people around. But I'm gonna take the Trojans.
Number 15 Louisville, number 16 Notre Dame. I'm taking Louisville.
I think I'm going to as well, man. Like, I can't
We've
trust
only disagreed
Notre
on
Dame.
2 games so far.
I can't
That's
trust
more than the last
Notre
2 weeks
Dame.
combined.
Man, I just can't do it.
Arkansas at number 24, Texas A&M. I'm going to take Texas A&M outright, but you only beat Bowling Green by 6. I'll take Arkansas with the points.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A&M. I was looking at you got the games a little out of order from what they are on ESPN. So
Yeah, they didn't put them in order. They put them in time order.
I was looking at Oklahoma when you said that, so that's why I was like, it took me a second.
Mississippi State at number 1, Texas. Texas favored by 39. So
holy crap!
Yeah, Mississippi State is garbage.
I don't know if I'll take the points, but I will take Texas and at least 28 of the points.
Number 3, Ohio State at Michigan State. OSU favored by 24. I'm taking Ohio State.
I don't want to, but
I love
Michigan State's quarterback's thrown 7 interceptions.
Ooh.
They've won 3 games, so they must have a good defense, but 7 interceptions is not good.
And I liked, finally, you had in the last game against Marshall, you kind of had the coming out together party with Judkins and Henderson. If they can keep that going, you got probably one of the best running back rooms in this nation.
No, it's the best. It's the best. With Baxter out, it's the best running back room in the country. Like,
I wasn't going to come out.
And even with Baxter healthy, it's close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texas got a bunch of dudes, but yeah, no, it's not close.
Stanford at number 17.
But hey, I do gotta say, I'll talk about it maybe a little bit more here in a minute once we get to Boise. Mm-hmm. But those dudes, we got some backs. We got some stallions.
No, you're a Bronco.
I suppose that's true.
Stanford at number 17, Clemson. Clemson favored by 17.5.
Yep.
Stanford, no, not a shot.
Taking Clemson.
Yep. 18, Iowa State at Houston. Iowa State by 18.
Yep. Iowa State. Oh, ESPN bet says 14. So that's all.
I wrote
difference.
the points down off of what
That means stuff has changed a lot.
in the last 2 hours.
I guess.
Oh,
I'm literally.
yeah,
It
this
says
is 2
Iowa
hours.
State 14 minus 14.
Number 2, Georgia. At number 4, Alabama. I already said I'm taking Bama. Never thought that would be something I would say.
I know,
And,
right?
yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are.
No, I'm awake. Georgia favored by 2, but I guess you're who are you taking?
Oh, no, I'm taking Bama.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
did say you're taking DeBoer. Number 19, Illinois. At number 9, Penn State.
I'm pretty sure that was Illinois.
Yes.
I'm going to pick Penn State, but I don't feel so comfortable about this. They're favored by 19, but that's... Yeah, I don't know how comfortable I am with that.
South Alabama at LSU. LSU favored by 22.
I'm surprised it's that little.
That low?
I guess South Alabama must got some dudes.
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah.
Washington State at number 25, Boise. Boise getting 7.5 at home. I'm taking Boise.
Boys
See
and
if
girls.
Boise can stay ranked. They should. If they win, let me. Oh, I don't have college pulled up. What's the rest of their schedule look like? Or at least the next couple weeks.
Let me tell you.
All right.
So Washington State and then Utah State, back-to-back home games.
Okay.
Travel to UNLV, which if we have time, I guess we'll talk about that. If not, we'll make sure to put it on next week's show because
Okay.
I do want to talk about it. Yeah, so UNLV and then another home game with San Diego State and Nevada, also at home, then on the road versus San Jose, and then Wyoming and Oregon State the final week of the season before the
Title game.
before the title game.
All right.
So yeah, UNLV was a game that I thought was going to be, a real tough one, and now it's like that.
It was until this morning.
Yeah. So actually, let's
Let's just talk about it.
do it real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So their quarterback, he said evidently that an assistant coach or whatever offered him $100,000 to come and play there, and I think I heard that he's only gotten like $3,000 or something like that, and
I'm taking my $3,000 and walking.
right, he's not happy about that, and he was like, well, since y'all aren't paying me, I'm not playing for you anymore.
And see, that didn't break until a couple hours ago. It broke this morning that he was transferring out, but it didn't break why until a couple hours ago. So yeah, I mean, you promised me one thing, and I've got you to 3-0. Good luck winning without me the rest of the year.
And I'm like one of the biggest rah-rah team guys that there is, right? I'm all for team, but at the same time, it's like,
I mean, he's making money.
You promised me something, and you're not delivering it.
Right.
Why should I
I
give the
continue?
service if I'm not getting the compensation? So,
Last two, Arizona at number 10, Utah. Utah minus 11. I feel like it'll be closer. If Cam Rising doesn't play, I think it'd be closer.
I'm going to go with Utah. I don't think that...
But come on, Fafita, prove me wrong this week.
I
You
don't
got to
know.
bounce back after that dismal performance against K-State 2 weeks ago.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
And then number 8, Oregon at UCLA. Oregon favored by 25.5.
Oregon by 1,000. Did we actually talk about I feel like we skipped it. Oklahoma and Auburn?
I had Oklahoma as a bye.
They're playing Auburn.
Oh, then yeah, we did skip it. Oklahoma at Auburn. What's the point spread? I didn't have that.
2.5
Ooh.
for Oklahoma. Total 45.5.
I'm gonna take. Is it at Auburn?
Is Top home or is Top
Top
away?
away.
Oh, so it's at Auburn. Yeah. Right.
It's gonna be a rough rough 2 weeks for Oklahoma. I'm going to take Auburn.
See, I think Oklahoma's going to bounce back, and they have a better defense.
Kind of feel like they have to bounce back.
They have a better defense the last couple of years. I think it's still Brent Venables there, right? Yeah, and that's his specialty. So they might not have quite the high-flying offense that we're used to seeing out of Oklahoma. Yeah, the Sooners. But, they got a really nice defense there. And Auburn's quarterback has 5 interceptions on the season. So that's not awful, but 5 interceptions in 4 games isn't great either. So I'm going to take the Sooners.
All right, so that will do it for college football. I want to see, there is one thing I wanted to find to see if I could talk about it real quick. I know you don't get to watch a lot, or you don't watch a lot of college football, but talking about...
I do when I can. I got a lot going on.
You don't watch a lot of the pregame stuff then?
Yes.
With McAfee?
Right.
Oh,
I see a lot of the clips because he's viral, obviously.
Let me see if I can... find it and play it.
Stadium that's going to be packed out screaming, Boomer! Boomer! Tennessee! Not today. Give me good.
I love how he just builds up fan bases.
Come in here and win a big one to welcome Oklahoma to the SEC.
I love how he just gets fan bases riled up and then pisses them off all within 30 seconds.
That's amazing, dude. I love you, Pat. Never change, my man. Never, ever, ever change.
All right, so on to NFL, and we'll kind of combine last week, this week. Last week we had panic button. This week we've got overreaction, underreaction.
Okie dokie. Well, let's quickly try to get through some of these games. The New York Jets looked like the New York Jets that they've been wanting to be since Aaron Rodgers got there. 24-3, the defense was stifling. Only allowed, that says 61 passing yards. I don't know how that happened because Brissett had 98 and then Drake May had 22. So I don't know how. Oh, did the sacks come off of it?
I don't think so.
But maybe it counts there. I don't know because it says total is 61 yards. Regardless,
it was ugly.
Yeah, no, it was not good.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, looked a lot like the old Aaron Rodgers. 27 for 35, 280, and 2 touchdowns. Got sacked a couple of times, but had a 118 rating. Was very good. Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, those guys are just a handful out of the backfield. And I was talking about Braylon Allen the entire draft season, if you remember. He had big dude, super young. He's a huge running back. 6'1", 235. That's a freight train. And then you have the greatness of Breece Hall, who he can do it all.
It's kind of been more out of the backfield this season than actually running. I mean, catching out of the backfield more than running this year.
They're doing a pretty nice split with Braylon Allen because he's performed so well the first few weeks. So. And that's going to be better for them and for Breece Hall in the long run because he won't get beat up as much. And I got Braylon Allen on my fantasy team, so I'm happy about that. He's been a nice flex option. Anyways, moving on to the receiving, Tyler Conklin had a night, 5 catches for 93 for the Jets. Who else? Garrett Wilson didn't have a ton of yards, but 5 catches for 33 and a touchdown.
All I needed was the touchdown.
That guy he's just a dude on the outside. I love watching him play. I hate that he was a Buckeye.
There's a lot of receivers in the league that come from Ohio State.
I know. But I don't like most of them as much as I like Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall did fumble, but it looks like they recovered it.
I was about to say, I think they got it back.
Yeah, they were okay. And then 7 sacks. Sheesh. Will McDonald, the fourth, had a couple. Chuck Clark had one out of the secondary. Quinnen Williams, the big man, got one. Solomon Thomas and Tack McKinley also split one. And that was pretty much it. There's a couple of other big things, or a couple other little things, but I don't think there were any picks thrown in this game. Nope. So, yeah. Is there an overreaction or anything there?
Not with that one, no.
Okie dokie. On to the next.
Browns and Giants.
The pitiful
Malik
Cleveland
Neighbors.
Browns.
Nice coming out party from Malik Neighbors. 2 touchdowns on
8 catches for 78 yards.
And then Cooper on the other end, he had 7 catches, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Wide receivers had a really good game there. And
Daniel Jones.
hey, he wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
There you go, Dable. Get him together.
All right, so here's my overreact and underreaction. Is it time for the Browns to move on from Watson?
Can they? It's all guaranteed.
Oh, it's all guaranteed.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he went. It's all guaranteed.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's a lot of dead money.
It is.
So I don't know if they can, but EPA per play is a stat that PFF and a lot of NFL teams use a lot to determine. I don't know. It's a stat that they like to use, and it stands for expected points per play or whatever, and it like takes the expected points at the beginning of the play versus the expected points at the end of the play, and like that helps determine. I think it's mainly a. It might be a quarterback stat. I don't know. You had to get into the minutia of PFF a little bit more. I still don't understand it the greatest. But that being said, on the way in here, I was watching one of the podcasts, and they said that Deshaun Watson, since 2004, has had the worst 3-game stretch when you're talking about EPA per play for a Browns quarterback.
Oh.
And that's that. You know the Browns, the picture with 1,000 quarterback names on the back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Worse than all those quarterbacks.
God.
That's incredible, dude.
I did have another one. I didn't put them in order, but I did go through and find it. I know it's hard to say after the Giants looked decent in that win, but overreaction that Dable could be fired before the end of the year or at the end of the year.
I think they'd be stupid to do it. I'm a big Dable guy, and he'll land somewhere else, and they'll be good. So, next game, Packers and Mayonnaise Man. Mayonnaise Man, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
I finally saw the mayonnaise commercial with him this
That is
weekend.
awful.
Yeah, we'll throw it up, or we'll talk about it next week more.
All right.
Because I could rant on for more than 22 minutes about that.
And they're bad, so we'll have
Yeah.
plenty of opportunities to make fun of them. 33 rushing yards for the team on 11 carries.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were not doing much. DeAndre Hopkins had a pretty good game though, 6 catches for 73.
I kind of forgot he was still in the league.
Not the DeAndre Hopkins of old, but hey, Malik Willis, they let him throw the ball a heck of a lot more in this game. Had 202 yards, threw a touchdown, and bunch of the wide receivers actually had, not great games, but pretty all right games. Christian Watson, 2 for 67. Jaden Reed, 4 for 50. Emmanuel Wilson, running back out of the backfield, 2 for 35. So, hey, like I said, they threw the ball way more, and they scored 30 points. Like, they just know how to play football and how to run things up there and with the Packers. Like, I'm not the biggest.
I think it's something it's just about the team because, I mean, there was times the last 2 years we questioned LaFleur's.
I was going to say, I'm not the biggest LaFleur guy, but,
Yeah.
like.
He's getting along without Jordan Love, so.
Yeah, they're, like I said, getting along, getting down the road. Then, we get to talk about something else.
Yeah, we picked up our first win.
Is it pulled up?
No,
I'll get it. I'll get it.
I didn't realize that.
I'll get it.
But yeah, Colts look good. Not great, but look good. Richardson, 50% completion, 10 to 20, 2 interceptions. Let's not throw it to the other team, Anthony. We got to keep that in control. But Taylor, 23 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. That really kind of put me over on winning this week in our fantasy league.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Do you have it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh, why is it in that little small window? I don't know why. But
because I think it's just a YouTube short.
Oh, and it does it like that. So okay, yeah, there's the slip and slide for the Bears. Yeah, there you go. Well, what did his stats look like this week? I know that they weren't good, but didn't he get his first passing touchdown or something like that?
Yeah, he was 33 of 55 to 363, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 carry for 8 yards. So not anything spectacular. But
How many times was he sacked?
should have had that.
This is what happens when that's one of your drills.
Colts had 4.5 sacks.
My goodness, I just saw Levis was sacked 8 times.
Oh, jeez.
I clicked the wrong game and I saw that. Okay, the next one. Vikings Texans.
Are we really Sam Darnold resurgence right here so far this season?
Hey,
he got the ghost out.
I've been the Sam Darnold guy for so long. I think I'm one of the few guys that was left on that island. Go Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Only had 181 yards, but threw for 4 tutties, and gotta love it. Aaron Jones looking good, man.
Yeah.
19 carries for 100 yards. Got one of the touchdown catches. Had 5 for 46 on the ground. Naylor had one. Jalen Naylor. Was he drafted this year? I think he was,
I feel
right?
like yeah. If not, he was last year.
Oh, no. He was a couple years ago, 2022. Where's he from? Oh, Michigan State? I don't remember him.
No, Michigan State hasn't been worth anything the last couple of years.
But
hey,
he hasn't had a bad season so far. Justin Jefferson doing Justin Jefferson things,
Yeah.
like always. Johnny Munt, is that how you say it? The new tight end?
sure.
Did pretty well. And,
TJ's still out.
it was only 1 touchdown, but hey, one catch for 2 yards. Touchdown's a touchdown, right? Doesn't really matter. What is going on with C.J. Stroud and the Texans?
I don't know. Wish it could have been like this week 1 when we played them, but I don't know. They got some stuff to figure out down there in Houston.
They've really been struggling, and I guess maybe the question is Diggs really the cancer? He got 10 targets for 94 yards, 12 targets for 10 catches and 94 yards. But, not a ton of other guys did that much. Nico still had 4 for 86, but Tank 5 for 60. But I don't know. It seems like Diggs was the real focal point, and guys like Robert Woods weren't able to get going. Dalton Schultz, and I feel like those are guys that you need. Those are good players.
Eagles Saints, that was big hype for a lot of letdown.
Oh man, that was.
Saquon's 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns is what did it. In a defensive thriller in which the Saints had scored 44 or more points the first 2 weeks, and they couldn't even get to 14.
The wheels fall off. Derek Carr only had 142 yards. That's not going to be good enough. Kamara is running into a wall, averaged 3.3 yards a carry.
Literally.
There's not a lot of room on the ground there for him. Olave did well, but he was the only one that really did much in the passing game.
But did he have all of Derek Carr's passing yards?
6 for 86 and a touchdown, and then Kamara had another 3 for 40. So, yes, the 2 of them did. There was 16 yards between the rest of the wide receivers. Shout out to Cedric Wilson, former Boise State product.
Chargers suffer their first loss of the year. Steelers moved to 3-0, and God, I'm kind of taking back what I said that Mike Tomlin. He must have watched the show and like, count on me.
Just don't bet against that guy, man. And Steelers, that defense is just always going to be elite as long as they got Mr. TJ back there. I mean, he's just going to keep doing amazing things with that defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they sacked Herbert 5 times. They knocked him out of the game, made him turn it over just once. It was a fumble.
Now, to be fair, I mean, he left with 11 minutes left in the game, so it wasn't like an early knockout. So they were just manhandling him and that Chargers offense the whole first 3 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, they're tough as nails, man.
I don't know what the hell Denver did, but they figured out something on the flight to Tampa. get it done this week, knock off Baker and the Bucks.
Yeah, the defense really held him down. Only one touchdown. Baker threw a pick. And they actually ran the ball well, the Bucks did. But they were down the entire game, so they weren't able to utilize that.
Right.
They had 16 rushes for 91 yards. That's almost 6 yards a carry. But
When you're down the literally the whole game.
when you're down 19 points, like, because it was 17, right? No, it was 13 at halftime. They were
20
down
to 10 or
yeah.
20 to 7.5.
Yeah, they were down 13 at half, and it's hard to do a lot there. Did something happen to Rashad White, or like has Bucky Irvin actually taken his job?
He has. I feel like the last couple weeks he's gotten more and more carries.
25 carries for $150. Like, that's 6 yards a carry. Wow, I'm a little surprised that. I mean, and he's been efficient. I mean, the
Maybe it's
Lions
just he
game,
comes
he
in
wasn't good against the Lions, but the other two games he was fantastic. I missed the boat on that one because Bucky's a small guy. I didn't know how he'd be able to hold up. He's only 5'10", 195. But yeah, good for Denver finally getting out of that funk a little bit.
The Red River Rifle does it again.
Andy Dalton out there slinging, man.
No kidding.
You just know. I just feel like every time he's going to come in and it's like a spot start, you can almost guarantee that he's going to light things up.
319 and 3 touchdowns. And Vegas looked bad. I mean, after their win last week against Baltimore, I kind of was like, all right, maybe this defense can do something. No.
See, and I didn't. I just know that Baltimore at times, they just completely come out and they just drop the ball. Mm-hmm. And so I felt this happening. Like, did I think that they were going to score 36 points? No, but...
Did you think Andy Dalton was going to have almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns at halftime? No.
No. Yeah, no. But hey, I'm always happy for Andy Dalton to have a great day.
Yeah.
Always love that guy.
Here's another one. Did Bryce Young start his last game for Carolina?
I think no. I think they'll give him another shot, but I don't think that he'll be able to stick because, how many times does a first rounder get pulled and then later they come back and they're like, yeah, no, you are the guy. Normally it's kind of done for him after that. You got to go somewhere else and find a way to make it work. Like Baker.
Yeah. Dolphins, Seahawks, nothing really there. Seahawks dominant. DK had a nice game. Geno kind of coming back to the 2 years ago Geno.
I mean, this team is like Jekyll and Hyde. They're 3-0 this year. They were terrible last year, and the year before they were a playoff team.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna get? I don't know. I gotta say he won't watch the show more than likely. But sorry, Trav, I didn't know that Tua was gonna get hurt, and so I am destroying him on that Tyreek Hill Gibbs trade right now. I mean, it's not even close. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of working out rough for him. So sorry about that, buddy. Dolphins only scored 3 points. They just don't have an offense without a quarterback. And it's nothing against Skylar Thompson, but like he's not good enough. Ravens, Cowboys. What is wrong with the Cowboys? I knew that they were going to make that comeback at the end of the game, but I was like, are they really just that thin on the back line, the second half of the back half of the defense where, like, they just can't get stops on the inside? Derrick Henry, 25 for 151 and 2 touchdowns. He ran all over him.
It's because I don't know why Dallas is trying to arm tackle Derrick Henry. You cannot do that. I mean, one of his touchdowns run, he was sitting and pushing people off for like 30 yards. It's like, God. But yeah, so here's mine, and Jim hopes it happens. This is Mike McCarthy's last year in Dallas. They could win the Super Bowl. They won't make it. But they could win the Super Bowl, and I still think he's gone.
Oh, no, there's no way he's gone if they win the Super Bowl. That being said, that's definitely not happening. They're off to a very slow start, and
it's a horrible start.
I don't trust nothing about this team. Don't trust nothing about them. So.
Yeah. Well,
Really, I don't
only
trust anything about either of them.
The only thing you can trust is that Brandon Audrey is going to give you a hell of a week in fantasy.
Man, that guy's going to kick his leg off, ain't he?
He has more fantasy points this year.
Than a lot of players.
Yeah. And this was just some of the big names I saw on a stat. Devontae Adams, C.J. Stroud, C.D. Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown, Bijan Robinson, Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Well, when you can kick 60-plus yard field goals and make it look easy.
4 times a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, go Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah.
I don't like nothing about the Cowboys, but I like that guy.
I like the kicker. And there was the week one, they were about to kick a 71-yarder. Mm-hmm. And he went through with it, but somebody called a timeout, and he made it. It's like, oh. And on the other side, Justin Tucker has missed more field goals this year than he has in his career.
I tell you what, man.
Is he done?
He might have lost the mojo.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things work out. He might be able to straighten things out, but it has definitely been a rough go-round for Justin Tucker. All right, so on to the next game. What in the world is going on in San Francisco? Brock Purdy goes 20.
Everybody's at IR.
Brock Purdy goes 22 for 30.
Yeah,
he has almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's only sacked 1 time. They rushed for 137 yards with an average of 4 yards a carry. Juwan Jennings has 11 catches for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And they lose to the Rams, who are missing their top 2 wide receivers, who, I mean...
And Higbee
half
still out.
Yeah, Higbee's still out.
2
half
linemen.
of their offensive line.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald is gone.
Yeah, he retired.
What? And no more Bobby Wagner. He left too.
No, that's right.
Yeah. What in the world?
Ugh.
I cannot believe that. Like this Rams team is so broken that they barely had the guys to put dudes on the field week 1 against
Detroit.
Sunday night against the Lions. That's just. Whew.
It's bad.
What is going on in San Francisco?
I know, Kyle Shanahan. You got to figure something out.
Hey, man, my Uncle Sam, he is not a Shanahan fan at all. And I'm just like, dude, they're always good. Mm-hmm. He's a good coach. They're always good. He's a good coach. Dude, you got to start winning some games or Sam is never going to shut up about this. So.
Moving on, now we'll talk about the Lions. They had a closer one than I kind of expected with Arizona. 1-score game. Kyler Murray threw over 200 passing yards and a touchdown through the air.
Hey, they're not a great team, but I feel like they're gonna be able to they're gonna be kind of fun this year. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals having
Maserati Marv.
Yeah, having Marvin Harrison down there, I think that's gonna make things a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
not else much to say about that.
Right.
Chiefs, Falcons. We picked the Falcons. They should have beat them.
Dude, God. I felt so confident watching that game. Like, they scored the first touchdown, and then, like, then they picked him off in the end zone. I was like, yes, This is happening. They're going to get him. And then the stripes came out.
Yeah, I was about to say, pass interference is only when the Chiefs are on offense. It's not a defensive penalty.
It's frustrating. Yeah. It's real frustrating. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes has not been great this year. I mean, he's not been terrible, but he's not been great either. He's
not been the MVP Patrick Mahomes that we've seen of late.
Hey, Rashee Rice is doing everything for that team offensively.
Yes.
Right now, 12 catches for $110 and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, hey, he finally actually did something in the second half.
Oh, he did?
He ended the game 4 catches for 30 yards. Which was far better than what he's done either other game so far this season, if I remember correctly. Kirk Cousins losing a couple of fumbles, or it looks like they didn't lose them, but that doesn't help, right? You gotta be able to secure the football, and the interception that he threw,
one.
And that interception he threw also not good.
Yeah.
That being said, I felt like they played good enough that they should have been able to win.
They should have.
Just you know, I hate Kansas City.
Bills destroy The Jaguars.
Holy Moses, man.
Yeah.
Are they going to regret giving that big contract to Trevor Lawrence? And I still like Trevor Lawrence, but it's like, and I'm not saying that this is all his fault, because it can't be. But what is going on down there? The offense has just been despicable.
I think he's lost like 7 in a row.
Yeah, and they haven't put up more than 17 points this season. This is not good enough. So yeah, I hope they're able to turn things around, because I
I'm
like
not,
Trevor
because
Lawrence.
that's my division. I'm glad they're 0-3. And then I just got to rip the Band-Aid off here, Andy. The Bengals. I mean, they started.
First of all, frickin' Josh Allen is just ridiculous, dude. I mean,
I kind of thought with I mean, not really having.
I thought he was gonna score 1 billion fantasy points in the first half, and then they kind of slowed down,
faded him out.
But hey, my man Khalil Shakir had a great night.
Yeah.
Boise State product, 6 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. My only problem with picking him up in fantasy is I just didn't have the roster spots. I knew he was going to have a really good year. I mean, he's the best, most experienced wide receiver that they got. And he's not great, but I think he could be a real nice 1,000-yard-a-year type slot dude. And he could be a, quarterback's best friend type deal. So keep doing the work, Shakir. I really like you, man. Keep killing it. And then, now we can talk about the Bengals.
They started. I mean, the first drive was phenomenal. Goes right down the field. Was that an answer too, or did they score first?
They scored first, so we got the ball first.
Okay. But yeah, went right down the field. Jamar had a nice, 40-yard touchdown. And then it just, the defense just couldn't stop Jaden Daniels.
Literally at all.
The most.
They scored every single possession. The only one that they didn't was the one no, it was a kneel down. Freaking right before the half. It was they got the ball with 22 seconds left right before halftime.
Oh, okay.
Well, and then at the end of the game too, when they kneeled down there as well. But it's like, sheesh, dude, you got to figure it out, Lou, because I mean, the offense scored 33 points, and there was still a handful of mistakes on the offense. They didn't play good enough, in my opinion, but they really did step it up a lot. So they still got to get better. I like the fact, even with being 0-3 and this all being very, very frustrating, because you just, when you come out and you don't play like you want to win the first couple weeks of the season, you're going to find yourself in holes like this, and there's only been, I think, 4 teams since 1990 or something like that to come back from 0-3 and make the playoffs. It's not something that happens often. The last team to do it was the Texans in 2018, and guess what? They had J.J. Watt, rather. And guess what? I love Trey Hendrickson. He is not J.J. Watt. So it's I maybe overreacted a little bit on Monday night and posted on Facebook. I was like, well, that might mean the season's over. Maybe not. We can easily turn around and rip off 5 in a row. We get the Panthers this week, so we just have to just don't let Andy Dalton beat us. I mean, sheesh.
The Bengals are, 0-2, 0-3 against Andy Dalton since you let him go?
Something like that, yes. I'm not happy about it.
But then, I
like Andy Dalton, but I'm not happy about that.
You've still got 6 division games left, so I mean that is definitely something. And Burrow said that in his post-game press conference. You still got 6 division games left. You win. I'm gonna have to say you're gonna have to probably win 5 out of 6 division games.
I don't know. We'll see how hot Pittsburgh is able to stay, and I feel like Baltimore's not going to be terrible, but I don't think that they're the Baltimore of years past. They lost a lot on the defensive end. But so get the Panthers this week. Then it's a tough one against the Ravens, but then the Giants. Cleveland has our number. Just don't let them have our number anymore.
Is it at
Just
Cleveland?
beat them. Yes, at Cleveland.
Oh.
That's going to be rough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they suck this year. So maybe the Bengals will be able to get that one. And then if that happens, then it's like, oh, you just went on a 4-game streak and you're going, the Eagles are coming to town for a big 4 o'clock game.
I hate Baltimore or Philly.
And I wouldn't be shocked. The Bengals went on a 4-game streak last year, and that really got them back into it after they beat the Niners, and everyone had all the energy and was behind him, and then he got hurt the next week. There was a lot of people saying, "Oh, the Bengals might be the team to beat this year," and then got hurt. So it's still not out of the possibility. But
Team to get beat.
I just hate the fact that you just gotta lose the first 2, and then just make it so difficult on yourselves.
We said last week, Zach Taylor, 5 out of his 6 years he's been there, they've started 0-2.
Yep.
So, and they went to the Super Bowl once, AFC Championship twice, with those 0-2 starts. So it'll get turned around, or I don't know what else to say really about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to run through picks quickly for this week. Dallas at the Giants. This is the first time we're going to see Dallas this year without a Tom Brady announcer. He's done their first 3 games.
Yeah, I know. I was actually telling my buddy the other day. I was like, I think it was on Sunday. I was like, I'm sick of this. I want to see Tom call somebody else.
Yeah, Fox just is
I hate the
Dallas
Cowboys.
contract.
Yeah, I hate the Cowboys. I don't want to just watch Tom talk about them all day long. So yeah, I'm picking the Cowboys though.
Yeah.
I would love it if Dable was able to pull that off. It's only -6, so it's not like it's a crazy line.
New Orleans at Atlanta. I am taking Cousin Kirk and the Falcons.
Yep, me too.
Rams at Chicago. I'm taking the Rams.
Of course I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, you're not picking Caleb Williams.
I'm not picking Caleb.
Minnesota at Green Bay. I'm going to ride this Darnold train as far as it'll go. Could it get derailed in Green Bay? It could.
I think it will. Hey, that coach, he's doing something special though.
Oh, O'Connell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh at Indy. I'm taking the Colts.
See, it almost feels like sometimes the ones that the Steelers shouldn't lose are the ones that they do. That being said, I just saw Anthony Richardson already has 6 picks. I have the Steelers defense. He might throw 3 more.
Yeah, well, let's hope not.
So I'm picking the Steelers. 4-0. Ugh, hate saying that.
No, it didn't. Denver at the Jets. I'm taking the Jets.
Me too.
Philly at Tampa. I think Baker's going to get it turned around. Philly has not impressed me this year. I'm gonna take Baker and the Bucks.
I think I'm going to pick the Eagles, but I definitely think it'll be a close one.
Cincinnati at Carolina.
I mean, I'm picking the Bengals. I just don't know what else you can do. What else you can do? Oh, hey, you didn't do your final overreaction.
Oh,
Just hit it real quick because
is that offensive rookie of the year?
probably.
Yeah.
I think he's a superstar.
Yeah.
I love Jaden Daniels, and I loved him in college, and the guy's just great. He just has to he just has to be able to survive, not get killed.
Yeah.
I love watching that guy play.
Firings in there, but we can talk about that next week.
Right.
Jacksonville, Houston.
I think Jacksonville is going to pick up the first win. They're going to have to turn things around at some point. Why not against the Texans and make things really tough on them?
Washington at Arizona. I'm taking Washington. I think it'll be a close, exciting game, but I think it'll be Washington.
Yeah, I don't know how close it'll be. I'm taking the Commanders.
New England at San Francisco. I'm taking New England. You said the Jets had, 6 sacks last week? Yeah, it's going to be that bad again for Jacoby Brissett again,
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah, taking the Niners.
Cleveland at Vegas. I don't really want to pick that game, but
Me neither.
Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, I think I will. Just home field, kind of going to win win that one for me.
KC at the Chargers.
Do we know what's going on with Herbert?
I haven't seen anything this week. Who's their backup? Oh, it's Heineke, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pushing the proverbial chips all in. I'm gonna take the Chargers to give the Chiefs their first loss.
Oh, dude, I would be so happy if Harbaugh was able to do that, but I'm gonna pick the Chiefs.
Buffalo at Baltimore. Buffalo is on another level this year. It seems like Josh Allen is gonna have. He's just gonna have insane stats, I feel.
Yeah, but they're highs. I feel like they're just so high. But then there's a low. I feel like almost immediately after it a lot of times. So I mean, they do have Joe Brady in there now, though. That's part of the reason why that offense has been so spectacular. I still need to see it a couple more weeks for me to believe in it full time. I'm picking the Ravens. Bounce back, yeah.
Bounce back? They won last week.
Yeah, but like they didn't play. They almost let that game slip away in the second half.
Yeah, the second half was the last 8 minutes of the game.
Just literally let it all go. I think they're going to need to play better.
Hell,
and most of the time, Harbaugh's teams are coached better. Yeah, they have let up like the most 10-point leads in like the last 2 or 3 years. That's because they get a lot of 10-point leads. So
there's 2 Monday night games. Tennessee and Miami. Yeah, I don't have to talk about that. So we will skip over that.
But no, who are we picking though?
I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to pick Mayonnaise Boy, and I don't want to pick whoever the backup is for Skylar Thompson.
Oh, is he hurt?
He got hurt in the Seattle game. Can I pick the @ symbol? I'll pick a tie. There we go. I'm calling it a tie. A 13-13 tie.
I wonder what you could win on a bet.
There, I signed and what is the date? The 25th. Signed and dated. 13-13 tie. I'm gonna put a bet on that when we get out of here.
I was gonna say you'll have to tell me what the odds are. And then I think I'll pick Miami. I just believe more in them institutionally.
You got to get Tyreek and Waddle on some end arounds or something to get them something going.
End arounds, some drags, just something
quick slant,
easy.
wide receiver screen,
easy.
something.
Something easy.
Let Achane throw it. See what he can do.
Hey, whatever.
And then Seattle and Detroit. Yeah, Detroit. MCDC's got this team playing at a high level.
I hope you're right. And I think I will pick the Lions, but
okay.
Seattle's a good team, and it's almost like I feel like when they're on, they're on.
But
and they're similar. They're similar because they have two really good. Both teams have two really good running backs and some stud wide receivers out there. So,
but that's if Walker's playing. I mean, didn't he get hurt last week and Charbonnet
He got hurt the week before. Charbonnet's or maybe it was week 1, and Charbonnet's played the last 2 weeks. He's played really well. But it's looking like he's probably going to play. I think he got into practice at the end of last week, so by this time he should have practiced a couple days.
All right.
So I think he'll probably get back. So I'll pick the Lions, but then real quick, I don't know where you're going to find the time to cut out, but I got some of the Lions' new jerseys that they're going to be debuting on.
Yeah, I like the black. I like the black jerseys and that light blue helmet.
Is that really as big as it's going to get?
Well, you can click on the picture. There you go. Click on 14. No, that's not. Yeah. That
you want that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. I like the black ones. There we go.
There we go.
Ooh.
The blue on the helmet, you kind of flip it, and the black tiger, or excuse me, the black lion. Oh my goodness.
Although I will
Motor City on the collar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I will say that the NFL has really messed this up.
Ooh, look at what it's called, the Motor City Muscle. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I will say the NFL has messed this up the last 2 weeks, not allowing. I can go picture in picture. The Manning cast isn't on when they got 2 Monday night games. I want to see Peyton and Eli break down 2 Monday night football games at once.
We're getting shots of like Peyton doing one and Eli doing the other.
Just let them both just go and talk about you'll never know. You won't know which one you're watching or which one they're talking about. But I feel like that's a missed opportunity by the NFL right there.
Yeah, no, me too. But there you go. I really like that Motor City Muscle. That's fantastic. So I guess that's going to do it for this week's episode of Play by Play. Don't forget to go like the new channel where we're going to be posting everything.
Got it shared out last week. Posted.
Everything from now on. Got anything else to say?
No, I think that will be it.
Like it, share, subscribe, tell your friends.
Yeah.
We'll get out of here. We'll see you guys next week.